Hi-ho, and welcome to Zombie Kermit Solves the World's Problems.
What the fuck?
That's amazing!
Welcome to Solving the World's Problems. I'm your host, Roman, with my co-host, John and Steve, and special guest, Mando. It's always nice to have Mando back, so thank you for being with us.
Welcome back,
again.
Mando.
Of course. Yes, I am always excited to receive an invitation to be on the amazing show that's solving the world's problems, because I feel as though they need to be solved.
We actually have some things that we're going to attack tonight because it's been a very busy week. Actually a busy last couple of days as far as entertainment news cycle and the death of Hollywood, as just of all the things that they can't just leave the fuck alone.
That's been a slow death, though. That's been going for a while.
It has, but yet it's still there. So how is everybody doing this week? John, how are you?
What day is it? By Monday,
Thursday.
by Monday evening, I had already felt like it was the longest week ever. So it's almost Friday. But
Friday Eve.
I'm doing pretty good.
All right, Steven, you've been a busy man this week.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I wasn't even able to make PJ's show because I was a very naughty boy the day before. I left FFSI's discussion on Dr. E.E. Smith, which we did at 12 noon Pacific time, and then literally hopped from one stream to another until noon the next day. I was online almost continuously for 24 hours. It was a madhouse. I had the time of my life. I even got onto Raquel's stream, which is a new YouTuber that I've finally got a chance to chat with. Met a whole bunch of other people in the backstage. It's been absolutely grand. I participated in a big hug out between some people that were experiencing some butthurt and drama, which was also fantastic. Made some friends make up, sort of, probably to the best of our abilities, I think. But yeah, it's been a whirlwind of fun. And I've been trying to restake my claim on Twitter as well by just tweeting as often as I can, because the algorithm was literally bumping me out of the timeline.
Wow.
So
God knows you seem to be making up for it. So, all right. And Mando, how are you? And welcome back.
Good to be here. I am doing all right. I'm excited. I told Roman and John off behind the scenes that I am getting the best birthday / Christmas present of my life, and I'm going to be getting a motorcycle. There will be photos once I actually obtain the motorcycle. It's amazing. It's a sports bike. So yeah, I'm gonna be probably doing I'm gonna have to put that on my social media somehow, some way, and making I'll make a video, like a review video while I'm on the bike, and be like, today, blah blah. I don't know. I'll figure something out. But my week has been pretty good, just from that news.
Nice.
When was your birthday?
My birthday is in November.
Okay. Wow. Because I thought I was going to have to say happy birthday for the 8th time. I have met like a half dozen people who are celebrating their birthday this weekend. Like all of them. I'm like, what the heck? And
no,
it's
mine's
all January 1st
November.
conceptions, by the way. It's all holiday season conceptions at that point for this month.
Yeah, no, mine is in later November. I will be turning the big 3-0. Yes, I am but a baby. I'm but a baby, I know. But yeah.
Welcome to the slippery slide from you.
Wow.
My joints and my back are already in pain. It's amazing. I'm like, this is the milestone I've waited my life to reach.
That's right.
I remember 30. It was a fine time. Lincoln was president. Oh, those glorious days.
You don't even remember what you did this morning, Roman.
What's that supposed to mean? Why? So
that's why we need Jarvis. We need Jarvis. Like, I can't even remember what I had for breakfast. Whole wheat. Yes, that was it. Pancakes. Yes, thank you, Jarvis.
So we'll jump into the topic list here because we do actually have quite a bit to discuss today. Some of it'll be we can get through pretty quick. Some of it might get a little deeper in the weeds. I want to start with Rippaverse and ISOM #1 campaign. The campaign is done. $3,700,000 and a whole bunch of change. And the product has started hitting the market. I know our buddy Max MVP got his shipment today, and you've been seeing those show up all over Twitter and other social media. People are actually getting their shipments. So for all the naysayers out there, F off. He did it. You're jealous. Just, absorb something good in your life for a change. So that was some really cool news. Then news got like weird after that, but not weird in a bad way necessarily. Just kind of weird. Let's see here if I can get things to actually open and do what they're supposed to do instead of just sitting here.
To teach them how to use technology.
I know. I try and I try and I try. And
this is a button.
The button.
It's not really the clicking on it so much as the speed and response of said button when it comes back around.
So you're impatient.
I don't know what that word means, but I'm sick of your tone. So we got this news yesterday. This rolled out.
Yes, I am excited.
Is going, and Ryan Reynolds doing Deadpool 3. They're bringing Wolverine back, and this is exciting. And people were really confused because of Logan. Well, he's dead. Well, you dumb shit. Logan took place farther down the timeline, and so this is going to be a younger Wolverine, and this should be so much fun to watch. Because I mean, you've seen Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman play off each other on just different social media stuff. They have their pretend war, and it's just a hoot to watch. So that should be just so much fun. And we got who else do we have out here? Captain Infinity, nice to see you. You are the master of the long stream, sir. He's the marathon live streams from Captain Infinity. We got Nosferatu, the vampire out there. Always good to see you. And Jay the Deep Minded. So anybody else is out there, please drop a howdy. So this, the Deadpool 3 thing is fun because we're going to be getting Wolverine again. But this is going to be playing into the deeper theme of the show, which we'll get to here in a sec. Because I want to talk about the next thing I want to talk about is so that was the good bit of news. And I mean, I think we're all happy about it. I'm not sure about John because I don't know what the fuck he likes.
I'm just still skeptical that I know that, like you're saying, the two of them kind of troll each other on social media. And I mean, Hugh Jackman was very adamant about saying that Logan was the end. And he even said in later interviews that he didn't want people to think that, oh, when I say this is the end, that it's just sort of a coy thing. And then I might change my mind. Like he was like, Logan is it. Like I'm getting older. I'm done with this. I still, a little bit of me still thinks that they're trolling us, that maybe Hugh Jackman will be in the movie, but he's probably just going to have just like a blip cameo like Brad Pitt did in the second one. If you missed that cameo, go rewatch Deadpool 2 and watch it really slowly.
I don't know. Ryan's tongue was pretty well laid into his cheek at that point, though. So I don't know. I expect good things from Ryan, and I don't see him as being too much of a larka at that. I think he's going to promise what he's going to promise. Yeah, well, he's going to have to at this point.
I think if they pull back on this, it's not going to be a pretty scene.
I can see a lot of people.
It could be a hell of a troll, but that's not really a nice troll to your fans at that point because they're all super excited.
To give the short answer to you saying you don't know how I feel about this, if they actually really go full board and do this, I think it'd be awesome to see Deadpool, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, them together on screen. I think it would be super awesome. I'm still kind of sitting back. I'm not really getting excited quite yet. I'm still a little skeptical. To which on Twitter, Jay the Deep Minded said that she thinks that I'm too young to be this cynical, but I've been hurt before.
See, Wolverine's my last hope.
He's naturally jaded. That's the way he was raised. So I'm hoping that will be everything that we want it to be. Given the current state of the superhero market, and what's that thing that I'm watching? She-Hulk. And nearly any other Marvel enterprise that has been vomited upon us in recent times. I'm including Doctor Strange in that as well. And that's been the best of the chunks in the vomit. Nothing has been good in a while. So they need Deadpool to bring us out of the soup. Well, now, I don't think you're going to get much else out after that. I think we'll end up, if you've seen the let me pull this up real fast. The actual list here. Just brace yourselves on this. This is the release list. You got Werewolf by Night. Don't know what that is. It's fine. Wakanda Forever is going. I have zero hope for what they've done. The Namor is already unforgivable. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. That'll be funny, probably.
Because that went well for Star Wars.
Quantumania. I didn't give a shit about Ant-Man. I didn't give a shit about Ant-Man and the Wasp. So I suspect I probably won't give a shit about Quantumania. Secret Invasion could be good, but it won't be.
People's love for Paul Rudd.
And that only lasts. I mean, it's the same gig kind of thing.
Right.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It's going to be Guardians of the Galaxy again. Echo, no one wants to see. The Marvels, less people want to see. Ironheart, surprisingly, even less people want to see. Blade.
If they mess up Blade, I imagine there is going to be an eruption of revolt.
If they mess up Blade? Blade was already done well. Now, granted, the effects back in the day, we've all seen it. They were a little wonky, but Wesley Snipes, and oddly enough, I think it was a young Ryan Reynolds in was that number 3?
Yeah, in number 3 in Trinity.
Back in the Wayback Machine. That was it.
Can you remember back
3 wasn't great. 1 and 2 were spectacular though. So they're going to re-release it. They've the actor whose name is escaping me. He played Remy on House of Cards, which probably doesn't help anybody in this audience.
Nope.
What are they going to do?
Also the bad guy in Alita Battle Angel.
That's right. Yes. Which that was more of a niche thing. Did you get what?
Oh, she's just appreciating Hugh Jackman's body.
I don't know that Hugh Jackman is really ever out of shape. I don't think he's one of those cats that when it's off season, he just kind of lets himself go. A lot of actors do. Hugh Jackman, I think, is always in reasonable state.
He gets extra jacked when he's going to be Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Extra jacked.
Chaos. That sounds like something that we probably don't want to look for on Google, kids. So Coven of Chaos, New World Order looks freaking horrible. Thunderbolts, I know what it's supposed to be, but I don't know what we're going to get.
What? I've never even heard. What is Thunderbolts?
Thunderbolts is Norman Osborn's kind of dark offshoot of the Avengers.
Who's going to want to see that?
I guess you could say it's almost a Marvel equivalent to Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it's yes. Steven hit that right on the head. Daredevil Born Again. I was excited about the Daredevil franchise coming back, but then I heard that they are basically starting from scratch. So all the good stuff they accomplished on Netflix through seasons 1, 2, and 3, that's gone. This is a literal restart.
Holy multiverse, Batman.
So just
why the heck are you buying these properties from 20th Century Fox and you're just gonna shit on them?
Yes.
But then
Fantastic Four. I already have zero hope for Fantastic Four.
We're buying all this stuff from 20th Century Fox, but we still can't get the original unaltered Star Wars trilogy.
Oh my God.
Unless you have a time machine and a VHS machine. The Kang Dynasty, this is going to be their attempt at building the Infinity War. That's what this is. That's what it is. So
we don't even know who the big baddie is yet.
Kang. Yeah. It's Kang. It's freaking Kang.
From The Simpsons?
Different Kang.
You mean the Kang that we saw Loki speaking
Yes,
to?
Kang from Loki.
Yes.
You mean the one that's just like, I don't care anymore. Here you go. Bye.
Yeah, that would be it.
That
So,
was a Kang, by the way. That was only
Well, that's true.
one of the
But-
multiplicity of Kangs.
But he made
Oh
such
my
an impact
God.
on you in Loki, they decided to make an entire saga about him. And then Secret Wars, which again could be good. Will it be? Probably not. So that's the
How
list
are they
of
going to do
horrors.
Secret Wars without Silver Surfer? Are they going to bring? I thought they didn't have the
Don't
rights
you
to
ask
Silver
too many
Surfer
questions,
still.
Mandos. Don't ask too many questions because
So not
You're-
this Kang.
I would prefer that Kang. In all honesty, I think most people probably would. I did vote for him, by the way. So that,
Wait, Kang was up for election?
it's actually an old Simpsons episode. You had to vote for him or the other alien because that's what it came down to. What are you going to do? I had to vote for one of them. So that's what you got.
Abstinence is the only way.
Oh, and Joe Stanford Graphics, welcome to the stream. One of my good friends from Navy Times. Not Navy Times, the publication, but while I was in the Navy. There's a big difference. One you have fond memories of, the other you don't want to be associated with. So next up, and this is the topic. So Deadpool 3, good, and then there's this.
Oh no.
Taika Waititi's Time Bandits assembles
What?
a star-studded cast.
No, the Terry Gilliam property?
Yes, the much beloved
No.
1981
No.
William film with had Sean Connery in it, David Warner, quite a few notable actors of the age, and it was just such a brilliant film. Taika Waititi, who has destroyed the Thor franchise, is also going to destroy Time Bandits for you.
Oh, good grief. Nothing is
Why
sacred.
can't we just leave stuff alone? Why
And
can't we just leave
that's-
stuff alone?
Is the overall theme of tonight's show. We have some other kind of oddballsy stuff that we may or may not get to, but I wanted to talk about this stuff. So now Time Bandits is on the list of Hollywood's lack of creativity. They don't have original ideas. And I don't think this is one of the most blatant and horrible examples of that. Now, when I say I like the idea of Deadpool 3, I do. But is it an original idea? Not really. No, they're just carrying
it's now
on a
going to be a Disney
franchise
property.
Mhm.
that, which is what they've, every sequel you get, some of them are good, some of them are bad. But once you get past that original point, it's very hard to make it better and incorporate original ideas into that. Bringing
I feel like
Wolverine
my
into
biggest
it again-
question.
Yeah.
I feel like my biggest question with Deadpool 3 is that the first two movies were rated R. One of the biggest complaints about all the movies featuring Wolverine throughout Hugh Jackman's tenure as the character is that Wolverine was meant to be a much more violent.
He's
foul
supposed to be
character.
rated R. He's always
And-
supposed to be rated
And
R.
he didn't get it until Logan. And so it's like, is Deadpool 3, now that it's Disney, are they going to have like freaking Mickey Mouse dancing around and having everyone just saying heck and darn and so like
No. It's supposed to be rated R.
It
better
supposed to
be.
Now, this is a promise
it's-
from Disney,
If they
the company that destroyed Star Wars.
the moment they change the rating, we know that if they change it from rated R to something else, that will be the signal that this is going to be a piece
That's
of
when we riot.
flaming.
I still trust Ryan Reynolds. I could see Deadpool turning to camera and just going, wow, that's lazy blood effects. Where's all the blood? And him just hanging a gigantic lantern on the problem.
Right. A lantern.
It's
you
in
say?
the
You mean
character
like
for him to
Green
do
Lantern?
oh, a lantern. Hey, like Roman's Halloween costume, Ryan Reynolds.
that. Nice. Let's have that picture, please.
I don't.
I
where is it?
I mean,
No.
I feel like Ryan
I
Reynolds
actually
has
don't.
enough
I have that one. I don't think I
pull.
have it saved in the things yet. Did I save it in here? Sometimes
Don't
I save
think-
things.
don't
sometimes I
ever say anything like
I
that
confuse
again.
even
I
myself.
love it.
And often. I'm very
Absolutely
old.
Fantastic.
This isn't my fault.
But I do feel like I remember reading. I do feel like I remember reading something about they were going to make some joke about Mickey Mouse or Disney, even in one of the previous Deadpool movies when it was not owned by Disney, and they still had to cut the joke because it was Disney. So I'm like, still optimistically skeptical.
Yeah, I can imagine that Ryan's going to say something that's spicy. And the Disney execs are going to be like, nope. But I'm hoping that Ryan Reynolds has enough pull to be like, nah, fam, you ain't touching this. This is my thing. You get your grummy little dirty fingers off of it.
That's
but
right.
Also, like, it's a 20th Century Fox property as well. And, like, I feel like they value Deadpool the way they value Spider-Man. Disney's going to only go so far. And 20th Century Fox is going to be like, nah, fam, you want to make money? You shut the heck up and let us do our thing.
I hope so. Disney does, and we've seen repeatedly, it does dumb shit, though. It's not like they're in the money-making business anymore. I'm not even sure what the goal often is. I mean, trying to get the message out doesn't work if the people aren't going to your film. And you can't fund other films unless you're making money off your current films.
Well,
but, I am not in marketing. Steven, you know these things. You're a smart guy.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mando.
I was going to say, like, just hanging out with a couple of my normie friends a little bit more the past week and a half. And, like, I got into an argument with one of my friends because they're like, Rings of Power is amazing. And I'm like, what kind of BS are you talking about? They're like, no. And then her husband, who was a huge Lord of the Rings fan, he knows the lore, and he said, yeah, it's really good. I'm like, who took out your brain and put a ping pong ball in there? What?
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Basically.
Indeed.
No, and I've actually, Mando, I've had that same conversation this week regarding both She-Hulk and the Rings of Power.
But was it funny with Mrs. of the Empire telling you that she doesn't care about the She-Hulk lady?
No, she does not care about the She-Hulk lady, and she would prefer that I not speak of it in the kitchen. But no, it was with just another more normie friend. And
hi, how are you?
Oh, the Thad that shouldn't be is out there. Thad, good to see
you.
Hey,
Matt, how's it going,
always. Buddy? But watching She-Hulk for just watch it to have fun. Well,
are you having fun?
I'd be having it.
Right.
The fact of the matter is, it's not. I've talked about I don't need to go on about the lazy writing and the bad lawyer sitcom garbage show that it is, and nor do I need to go on about Rings of Power. I think enough people have talked about it and why they have the issues with it. And it's not like this or this. It's the big scope. If they had literally called it something else and renamed the characters, they would have been better off than doing what they did.
Yep.
But you don't spend $1 billion to do that.
And just to chime in on my take on this whole thing, because I try to take a much deeper perspective on all this nonsense. I think what we're witnessing these days is a copyright battle. And the reason why they're remaking all of these things is because I think Hollywood is trying to get out of the estate problem, where there are actors who are receiving residuals to their estate 20, 30, 50, 70 years after their death. And they just can't afford it anymore. Now that it's going global, they're just like, you know what? We really should never have done this in the first place, and we're in a bit of a pickle. And it's a terrible excuse and a monstrous thing that they're doing, but they are basically republishing old titles under wholly new contracts. And I think that's really where this is all going. That's what this is all about. And I think it's just financial. So the best way to do such a thing, to get these things bought into another company entirely, where they can just rewrite all of the contracts across the board, is to bring them down in value. so that they can be sold to a
Well,
new
God knows
company.
they're doing that, Stephen.
Yeah, they're definitely devaluing all of the property. But here's where I would kind of counter. Why did they purchase some of these big IPs in the first place if their whole plan was to devalue them and sell them off for less?
Oh, I have theories.
Try to explain that to the character in Pretty Lady,
Pretty Woman.
with the one with Julia Roberts.
Oh.
That's what he did. That whole corporate structure of you buy, devalue it, and then break it up and sell it for more money. So Marvel can be sold by Disney as a wholly separate property, as is, and then you could do the same thing with Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And you could sell the old Star Wars and the new Star Wars as separate identities, even because they're under different contract structures. I mean, I'm just looking at this as a reverse engineer and looking at the logic of what's going on. And I'm trying to make sense out of it. And it sounds like Dr. Zeus
Don't you
talk,
do that.
but
I mean, I have different theories about all that, but that requires me like getting some tinfoil out and making a hat out of it. But,
Wait, are we doing
Yeah,
the
well-
tinfoil hats? I didn't get the memo we were doing the hats this week.
Go get
I
some
always
tinfoil
have my
real quick.
tinfoil hat.
And
I'm wearing
welcome
it
to the
always.
stream, Daniel. They should have sold rights to a small outfit that actually adhere to the source because that would put them on the map and do a good job. Daniel, your problem with that statement is you're thinking like a logical man who wants them to produce good products. That's clearly not their goal. I don't know what their goal is. So Star Trek being a victim of the kind of rebranding that has happened over the last several years, the movie is gone. They were going to do another one with Chris Pine and crew. That is now off the calendar. Ping, another one gone.
Oh, I'm
Quite
supposed to be
frankly,
surprised.
Anything that Alex Kurtzman puts his ugly mitts on these days, I am not unhappy that it is canceled. So, Star Trek, original idea that went sour and carried on far too long. So now we have, I mean, this came out this week and it's not meeting to grand reviews, is the reboot of Quantum Leap. Again,
I still haven't watched it yet.
I
wanna
have
at least
not,
watch the
nor
first
do I
episode.
intend to, but in the same vein, a lot of people don't intend to.
I want to at least see the first episode because I have like very fond like childhood memories of watching that show with my parents.
So
when I
you're
was
looking forward
very,
to
very
destroying
young.
those memories. Well done, my friend.
so
I couldn't
if
cheer
I-
you on more.
If I can at least watch one episode and then be like, okay, I'm good. See what they
I
did
know it's
different.
going to hurt when I put my balls in the paper shredder, but I want to do it anyway.
yeah, and
I
yet
want
you're
to see
watching
what
Lord of-
happens.
you're watching
Says the guy
She-Hulk,
who is continuing to watch She-Hulk.
Yeah, I was.
What?
Yeah.
It's not the same. It will never be the same.
Well,
Is it though?
John, just I know a guy that is he's really into Quantum Leap, currently doing a show reviewing the original Quantum Leap series, one episode, 2 episodes at a time.
Oh,
And
wow.
he saw the first episode, and he's probably the most forgiving, gentlemanly, left-leaning person I know in my little circle. And he has a bit of issues. You could see it on his face. He's like, "Why are you doing this to Quantum Leap?"
Yeah.
I just he saw the first episode, and now he's reluctant to watch the second episode because
Right,
it's just
and
like,
I
why?
don't have any intention of trying to watch the whole series, but I have that little bit of curiosity to at least see the first episode, see what they did with it.
Just like in college.
But what I've read so far, it's
Almost
like
got that
okay,
joke.
so
I got
think,
it.
I think where they messed up first and foremost is that in a lot of this time, in a lot of this day and age of they're out of ideas, so we're gonna do a reboot, we're gonna do a remake, we're gonna start it over. Oh no, this one, like they doubled down and said, no, this is gonna be a continuation of Quantum Leap. This is gonna be a sequel to where
it's the
they're
same
gonna
thing,
try.
though. It's a soft reboot. They actually
They're going to
changed the
try and
timeline. I know they
continue
did
to
that.
go on and figure out what happened to Dr. Sam Beckett and why he never leaped home. But Scott Bakula has already said he's like, I'm not part of this, so we're never going to actually see him. So this continuation of, oh, they want to know what happened to his character. He's like, I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
An image of him does make an appearance in the first episode, but it's kind of like
okay.
a pass-by plaque kind of image. So
Oh yeah.
whatever.
Oh well, like
So
I said, I
then-
still have some morbid curiosity.
Same theme here. John Wick Chapter 4. The John Wick series has been a big hit. The
Yeah,
problem is-
I have been looking forward to John Wick 4
I'm
for a
looking forward to
while.
seeing as well, but it goes back to my theme here. What are we not getting? What is Keanu Reeves not done in hell? I don't even know the last time. You got Bill and Ted. You got The Matrix again. You've gotten the John Wick 1, 2, and 3. They're money makers for him, indeed. I mean, it's not like they're not, but it smacks again of the same problem. And then we get this, which is kind of cool, but it's the same thing. Constantine 2.
Oh no.
See, I have a feeling I'm going to be forced to watch this particular movie because my husband is a big John Constantine fan. He loves Constantine. Loves it.
Oh, Daniel.
Are you talking about the third one?
Daniel, you are the intellect that I rely on in the interwebs. My friend, have you been drinking? I've been drinking. I was actually forced to watch Bill and Ted. My son, Jake of the Empire, decided he was going to watch it. And I think it was actually while I was doing the stream. So I came in and it was on. I'm like, oh boy. And
What
so
are you
I
watching?
settled in and I was like,
Did you punish him?
I should have punished him. I may actually retroactively punish him now because we've had this conversation. So Constantine, I enjoyed the first Constantine. Now I will say that it is a pretty far deviation from Hellblazer and the John Constantine comic book character. It is, and I get that. I'm a fellow who enjoys things that are more accurate, but I still thought it was good. Sometimes they take the deviation and they go in a direction that is way the fuck off. But this, I still liked it. I mean, I know.
Yeah. The movie was well made. Yeah.
Yeah, and Thad, our man on the other side, actually is on board with this too, which is odd. You're usually the contrarian in the group, my friend.
Well, I think
I'm on board for this. I trust the property.
I am, but
I trust Keanu.
It's again, no one can make an original thing. Apparently they don't exist anymore. Yeah. And let's see, we're gonna zip through the next couple of these here just so I will say
with John Constantine's comic book, just his backstory in general, you can do anything with him and it can become canon because he's just such a he's got so many different origin stories anyway, so many different backgrounds. He's just kind of this character that you can kind of play around with and people won't be as offended because he's just kind of like that.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one, Mando. And I think that's why the first Iron Man movie, and even more specifically, the Blade movie, worked so well because of the lack of public familiarity.
That doesn't always work. I never understood why people said Iron Man was not a mainstream guy. I knew who Iron Man was since I was 6 years old. That was back before Iron Man even existed. So...
Well, I will say, as kind of the resident normie here who has a comic book collection that's about that big, not very much.
How big? Someone capture that.
No, too late. Screen's too small. We're over here in the corner. But I own some comic books, but overall, I'm largely a normie when it comes to this stuff. When the first Iron Man movie came out, I had heard of Iron Man. I had heard of Captain America. Obviously, I'd heard of the Hulk. There were certain characters that I feel like Marvel sort of exhausted their characters that normies had at least heard of or knew of in some way. Now that we're getting into all that whole list you just read off at the beginning of the stream, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Those are the
one day I'm going to take you to school and you're going to learn to read.
But you know what the worst part of all is? I never learned to read.
like chilling there in that clip. Like the snake's just like, I'm just here.
One day.
Yeah, let's get into this one, Roman.
Blade Runner 2099 coming to Amazon. The people that brought you The Wheel of Time and The Rings of Power.
Oh, sweet.
They've also
fancy
brought
Moses.
you things like The Man in the High Castle, Reacher, The Terminal List. They are uneven as all hell. But when I look at Blade Runner 2099, I'm looking at another beloved franchise that I expect them to twist and turn into some unrecognizable thing. Maybe
Tell us again
I'm
how
wrong.
much you like Ryan Gosling.
I don't want to talk about Ryan Gosling.
But he's so cute.
Ryan Gosling has zero acting ability. Ryan Gosling is Ryan Gosling in every movie he's in. And that can work for some actors. Keanu Reeves, for instance, is always Keanu Reeves.
Mm-hmm.
But what he has is some, I don't know, indescribable charisma thing, glow that Ryan Gosling lacks. He's a pretty plank of wood. That's what Ryan Gosling is. So moving on, Ridley Scott is attached to this project. Does that mean anything? Not necessarily. I mean, you want to say he doesn't want to soil himself, but then Ridley Scott made those alien movies, John.
Prometheus,
Covenant
and Alien
and
Covenant.
Prometheus.
You know, I liked Prometheus for certain aspects of it. Covenant, let me just put it this way. When I went and saw Alien Covenant in the theater with friends who are some diehard Alien fans, when the credits rolled, my friend Patrick screamed in the theater, "We've been duped again! God damn it, Ridley Scott!"
Yeah, I can see that too. Oh, so also I want to give credit to Blair to Blair, because he's the one who shared that terrible story about Time Bandits earlier. That was the first place I'd seen it. So
Lord.
thank you, Blair to Blair, for sharing that horror show with us, so that we can all just be in a pinch until that thing comes out, and then probably after, I suspect.
Well, you know. And real quick, cheers to Devin. What's up, buddy, for popping in?
Hello, Devin. So anyway, what do you, please, friends, share with me, what are your thoughts on what you expect out of Amazon's Blade Runner 2099?
Oh, it's Amazon? No.
I expect them to do a lot of promotional things, a lot of member berries, like remember these shows, remember, and then be like, if you don't like it, you're a racist.
That's right.
I feel like that's
Oh
kind
God,
of
I hadn't even. Oh, you know what? Oh, Mando, I hadn't even thought about it from that perspective yet. What's wrong with me that I was so short-sighted? I was just
Lots
thinking
of things.
bad material. I didn't even consider that aspect of it. Oh my God, now there are so many aspects that I'm thinking about. Oh! That's gonna be not good.
just
But-
And we're back.
I can only imagine they're gonna be like, so remember how amazing that story was? Yeah, our story is gonna be nothing like that, but you should still like it.
That's
Well,
right.
Philip K. Dick didn't really know what he was writing back, in olden times. He
Oh,
didn't
that
understand
author that no
social
one's heard of?
perspectives were going to change, and that people's thoughts on different alities would be more advanced than his own.
Oh my gosh, like seriously, like I had no idea.
Oh, Mando, damn it. So moving on from that, that's
Roman's pain.
oof. And then we have
This is why
one-
you bring me on time and time again.
it is. What in the fuck did? Oh, why? Why did you make a collage of Ryan Gosling? You did. Oh my God! Oh my God, it's so terrible.
What is this? This is magnificent.
This is amazing. I would rather watch this than whatever the heck Amazon's gonna pop out next.
Oh my God. Oh wow.
This is
Oh
so
my
much better
God.
in my opinion. I could
Oh
like
no, that was horrible.
Ryan Gosling won't eat his cereal.
Oh dude, what the fuck? Oh,
it's amazing.
See, Devin knows what's up.
Gold.
that was a lot.
And you're welcome.
Oh, I think I'm actually perspiring now. Thank you for that. Someone please call a paramedic. I mean soon.
Again?
Immediately, soon. Real soon. Oh.
Oh, we
That
love
was-
you, Roman.
That was a fucking
Anyways.
nightmare. Oh my God, that was so funny.
But like
Oh.
we are
Who's
able
your
to
favorite
laugh
person?
at that. That is amazing entertainment versus the
Oh,
flaming pile of poo that we're like being shoved in. It's like, no, we want good entertainment. No, like you're gonna take this cereal and eat it. And we're just like, no.
And it's
Oh my
amazing.
God.
Here's all this footage
Oh,
that we actually. Oh, we lost John. That's no good. He probably pushed a button. Oh, Roman, don't. Come on. We know you
I
did
didn't get
that.
rid of him this time. It wasn't me this time.
Did you press the
Often get
big
rid of
red
John. I didn't do it this
button?
time.
The big red
Appears to be my lucky day.
He pulled the trap door. No more for you, John. You're finished.
pull the lever, John.
That's what your mother said. Come back.
Oh my God, that was fucked up. It was funny, but it was fucked up.
And even in that silly little thing that some YouTuber or some streamer put together, even the visual effects in that had more continuity than some of the crap we're experiencing today.
Right?
I mean, I didn't know that wasn't real footage of an actual spoon from a movie I just
that was
hadn't seen yet.
actually that was better than the entirety of the She-Hulk series.
I mean, how
it's
is that
not over yet.
possible? It just goes to show you that good storytelling is good storytelling, even
Roman,
with
you still
silliness
have
like that.
even if it's
Mhm.
just
More
a
episodes to
spoon
watch.
and Ryan Gosling.
And he flinched at exactly the right time in every single shot. It was so perfect. Comedy
was so good.
genius out there.
But
So,
that person put more thought into those clips
they did.
than Amazon even thought about putting into the Rings of Power.
My favorite
that
one
was
is
far
the
better
sweater
comedic
coming
writing.
up over his mouth. That was absolutely priceless.
I mean, then the comedic writing in She-Hulk. A dude
Oh,
with a
man.
spoon and some
There's comedic
pictures
writing
of
in
Ryan
She-Hulk?
Gosling did. I mean, it was way better. I mean, that was legitimately funny. Where
Mhm.
She-Hulk has poorly timed humor that appeals to no one. But that's just me. I don't know
Yeah.
anything. I'm a guy in a garage who's sweating because he laughed too much. That can't be good. Probably not healthy.
So
So
how
that
about
brings
the
up the one
Thor's
that I-
head peeking in on the Guardians of the Galaxy crew? It's like that's not funny, guys. It's barely even kindergarten humor at that point.
Well, so we've actually got a question here. I still have not seen this. Have you guys seen the new Thor movie yet?
I've only
Fuck all. Don't.
pieces of it. I'm like too afraid.
I haven't watched
because
it yet.
I actually really like Thor as a character. So I'll
Then
just-
you won't like this.
the clip that I keep being shown is where Zeus like lightnings his clothes off, and I'm just like, as a lady who likes the male physique, I would sometimes find that humorous for that to happen. But gosh dang it, like why? Like there's no reason for that.
No, the reason for that is because Taika Waititi has the sense of humor of a 7-year-old child.
Well, or a grown adult in West Hollywood.
Hmm.
Oh my.
Oh my.
But it's not good. I sat and I watched, I would say, the first 20 minutes or so of it, and it was terrible.
I'm so sorry.
Then I came back after one of the streams and I sat down and I was watching it again.
After you were drunk.
I don't know if I was full on drunk. I might have been. I often am. Let's not kid ourselves. That's
Let's
all
be
part
real.
of the Empire experience, which can be yours for only $9.99 a month. So where was I? I got don't watch Thor. That's I think what we ended up with.
Yes.
So
yes.
we have.
And I've seen a bunch of reviews, by the way, because I always skip around.
Yeah,
I've seen enough of the movie and enough reactions that it's meh to most people, and it's odd that the pre-argument to the movie actually did more damage to the property than the property itself, which seems to be the standard operating procedure right now.
Oh no, you have to, because that's the thing, and Stephen, we've seen this time and time again now, where when a studio knows it's putting out a shit product, they don't talk about the movie. They talk about the
diversity,
supposed, potential reaction from the audience.
I think Mando just saw her brain.
I'm sorry. That was like, I've been just so many of my normie friends are like, why do you care about these fake fictional people? Why don't you care about the racists? Why don't you care about the people who were oppressed and all of these black people who were marginalized in society? I'm just like,
I could go on a big giant rant right now of people that I've had discussions with, and not like random strangers, like people that I used to respect and know personally.
Like these are people. These are my friends who have degrees. Like there are people who I considered at one point in time to be very intelligent people, and I've had dinner with them, and they start spouting this nonsense of, the simple fact that you have a problem with them changing the skin color of an elf on Tolkien's product, one, means you're racist, and two, why do you even care? Because Tolkien was racist. And
yeah.
Well, I mean, there's people out there now saying that all the Disneyland properties need to remove imagery of Walt Disney because the man that literally created the company was racist. And it's like, okay, so now all of a sudden you're going to go to Disneyland, but you're going to say that the guy that created it should be removed from it. It's like, just don't give him your money. How about that? Anyways, not to try and plug my own channel, but here I go. In the video I just did, talking about a member of the band Slipknot calling out Rage Against the Machine for, oh, you guys are like a government band now and stuff. It's the same thing where it's like everything has to, I pointed out in the video that I actually remember, oddly enough, in a high school history class, in a class in high school, they talked about when they first started televising sports, when they started putting baseball on TV, when we started having sitcoms and other things that were not the news. The idea was you go to work all day long, you come home to the family, like you're tired, you want just 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours to just kind of kick off your shoes, maybe unwind a little bit, and then go back to being a parent, go back to being, whatever. It's like you want entertainment so that you can unplug, decompress a little bit, and then go back to real life. But oh no, that's not allowed anymore, because now if entertainment distracts from real world stuff, it's, oh, well, you're trying to ignore all these marginalized groups that are being disparaged against, whatever. It's like, you know what? I want to watch a superhero movie. I want to watch a damn superhero movie. And
yeah,
it's like, I want to go to hi-ho and welcome to Zombie Kermit Solves the World's Problems.
What the fuck?
Just like that.
I'm the music guy. Like, I want to go to a concert and hear music. And even if you write politics into your music, fine, but sing your damn songs. Don't take time in between your songs to tell me how to think because you're the guy with the microphone. Don't tell me that every football game, every movie, every show, everything has to, we can't turn a blind eye to what's going on. I was like, the fuck I won't.
All right. Click, bye.
yeah, and the funny thing.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Well played, my friend.
Sorry, everybody. I apologize.
You know what? But that does go into the, a lot of what we're talking about tonight. A lot of these are just the destructions of properties that we like, or just the total lack of creativity from Hollywood. And Matt, the Thad That Shouldn't Be, brought up the concept that there hasn't been an original idea in 3,000 years. Okay, we can look at it from that way. That's really kind of stretching the the topic thin, but so.
Yeah.
What they're doing now, though, is they're recycling things that have been made into film and television.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I want to say to you, Hollywood. This is just Roman of the Empire speaking. I have no authority. You probably don't like me. There are thousands of books out there, thousands that have been untapped for material for the big screen and the small.
Preach it, brother.
Read a fucking book.
Yep. Yeah, most of them are available on Audible, so you don't even have to do that.
You don't have to rehash stuff that's already been put on the
Thousands of
screen.
books.
There
Well,
are
you're just
stories
a
upon
bigot
stories
and an
upon
ist and a
stories.
phobe and a.
I'm just
Absolutely
saying.
insane.
I mean, that like one of my favorite authors, and especially when I was a teenager, most of you who've read books are going to be like, oh my gosh, you're one of those. James Patterson. He has written hundreds of books, tons of book series, young adult, teenage things, like dramas, like things that like even as an adult like has some heavier topics to it. Make some of his stuff into movies. I'm sure he would like that. I would like some of his books to be made into movies because they're cool. Like there's authors out there who would love for their materials to be made into movies, and they wouldn't give two dimes, 2 cares in the world if you change some of their source material and made it more political, even though it might have already been political or something. Like there's just so many things out there. Like why do we have to, like, I don't care to watch like the 20th Spider-Man movie. Spider-Man's my favorite superhero. I can go read the comics.
No, and that's another good topic, Mando. Comic books. You don't even have to go to the main houses. You can stay away from Marvel, stay away from DC. There are a lot of good indie houses out there that are churning out considerably better material. Look to them. There's a lot of other sources than things you've already done. That's my direction with this. It's like I don't understand why they've limited their scope so much. I mean, we can talk about, they're just trying to dump, the value of the studio. Okay, that's great.
Right.
Their purpose is to entertain. I mean, ultimately, that's, if you want to go back to, that's why these things were founded in the first place. But I know, but that's like,
I mean, that's what they told us in the beginning, was it was for entertainment purposes.
I mean, if there's really a sequel that not even a sequel that we need, but a sequel that we deserve.
God damn it! Not funny.
I would pay money to see that.
I know, right?
Yeah, I would.
It's things like that they're gonna bring this situation to a head.
I have the power.
I know.
Power.
Let's see. Where that actually he's written another comment here.
I guess that's the other reason why, like, I've been an anime fan forever, and like Steven, I know you're an anime fan. Like there's so many like there's so many Eastern quote unquote stories that like Japan is doing really well, and most of those stories like most normies have never even heard of. Like some of the bigger names for sure, like Naruto, most people have heard of now in the past 5 to 10 years, One Piece, Bleach, those are kind of bigger names. But like anime has hundreds of thousands of different stories that even hardcore anime fans will be like, oh, I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
But also Japan's like, we're going to tell our mythos, our stories. And we're also not afraid to just make up some crap because we saw, a weird random thing happen on the street. Like, they even have anime about tennis and cooking and like what? There's a TV show and like that friends of mine have watched where it's just epic tennis.
Yep. Yeah,
like
I
really
could name
intense.
it. I think I've seen the one you're talking, or one of the ones you're talking about.
Right? I think that's one.
Yeah, there was a trailer that came out just recently for a musical number that's going to appear in Spy X Family or Spy Family, and It's only like 1:30 long, and it's already gotten 1 million views. It's only been out for a day. That's the kind of pomp and ceremony that is behind anime fandom. They are so excited, and for good reason. They are never unsatiated by the property. It comes through every time.
Because like they're fine with finding random unknown stories and telling it. Like they're not telling the same story twice. Like yes, there are like similarities in different stories that are told, but they are not afraid to just be like, you know what, we're gonna tell a story about a blob. Just a blob. It's gonna be a story about him and his life story, and he got reincarnated somehow and stuff like
Yeah.
What?
My story as a sponge or a splurge or I forget. Yeah.
Yeah, that time I got reincarnated as a slime. That's the one I'm referring to at the moment.
Yeah.
But like,
and it's fascinating. You watch the first couple episodes and you're like, oh my God, where is this story going? It looks so fascinating. He introduces a whole magical system in the first episode and you're like, I've never even heard of such a clever device. It's like, this is an incredible framing device. It's amazing. So
my point being is we as an audience, we're okay with people telling different types of stories as long as the writing is good and it's good. Doesn't matter.
And to answer and to respond to your statement, John, I tried to get it in before like the clip festival started, but in the movie Network, which is from like the early 70s for crying out loud, the whole angry man speech where he goes, I want you to stick your head out the window and say, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. One of the lines in that story is literally like, can't I just watch my television? I don't want to watch all these commercials. I don't want to hear about, my radial tires. I just want to watch some television to get away from all this stuff for 5 minutes. Give me a break.
I could totally pull that clip up right now, but it's long enough that it would probably flag.
Oh no, then we got
There's no reason.
It's too long, but no, I know exactly the rant you're talking about. I've because everybody just knows the line, "I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it." But no, I've listened to the entire rant. I've never actually seen the whole movie. I should probably watch the movie, but I've listened to the entire rant.
Prophecy incarnate, John. It really is.
And exactly that. Like you listen to the rant, and it's like, oh my God, like this, all of these things are happening right now.
Yep.
Like I am now the angry person.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But no, and to that effect too, then of us just wanting better entertainment, regardless of what the story is, whatever, as long as there's good writing, from more of a music side, one of my favorite bands is a band called Coheed and Cambria. They write comic books that go along with their music. Their music is not everyone's cup of tea. I introduced Roman to them. He's like, I don't really like them. And I get it. They're kind of whatever. Not everyone's going to love their music. But the singer writes science fiction stories into the lyrics. They have written and released comic books that coincide with their music. The band members themselves are incredibly liberal. Every once in a while, they put stuff out on social media that we support this, we support that, whatever. And I'm like, I don't really like that. I don't support that. But it doesn't come through in their music. It doesn't come through in the comic books. And I have seen that band live probably more times than I've seen any other band in concert before. And not once have they ever gotten up there and tried to say, well, hey, we think this and you should think this and you should do this and you should whatever. So it's like, okay, I know where you guys are at with certain things and I disagree with that, but you are putting out good story, good art, good music. I go to your shows. I have fun. I'm entertained. Your comic books are well made. Your music is well made. We're cool. Like they're not pushing an agenda, even though I'm probably very much on the opposite end of the spectrum with these guys on a lot of different aspects. So it's like, it is possible to still make good art without having to be like, hey, here's this thing. Like,
alas, the world we live in. It's a friggin' nightmare.
And Jay the Deep Mind made an excellent point, and Daniel followed it up as well. It's that there's some sort of a psychological attack going on, but the hope is, the optimism is that, and the light at the end of the tunnel is that the money guys are starting to get a little frustrated. Like, all right, guys, enough. This isn't working. I think we need to switch gears, and that's why Star Trek is being dumped. That's why B5 will probably never happen. And
I
a
don't
lot of
know.
these other
I
properties may never see the light of day. That's why
I
they
actually
canceled Batgirl too. They're just
Well,
like,
thank
we're not
God.
losing money. Forget it. Done. We're done with
what was
this.
the Babylon 5? I think this was a pretty. What was the
What was I
date
going to
on
say? There's
this
something about
story?
another. I
This
don't know
was
if it's
3
been
weeks ago for Babylon 5.
Oh boy.
So it wasn't. I mean, this isn't forever ago. Problem was it was attached to CW. But he does say this is 3 weeks ago. Confirmed that an actual Babylon 5 reboot is in active development, and Straczynski is attached to it. In much in the same way that Ridley Scott is attached to the other thing. So it's
right.
He is supposed to actually be more involved in this because it's his. That's his baby.
Well, hopefully he has the strength to get through it.
I would rather not see it happen. I'd rather see it not come to fruition. Frankly, I just don't. I go back to my original idea with this: bring something new forward. I mean, hell, this is your own thing that you're rehashing now. But
another thing I'd seen
I'm tired of it all.
I don't know if it's been completely dumped or just pushed back, and I don't even know if it had anything to do with political stuff. But the I don't know if it was going to be a series or just a movie, but the new Salem's Lot has been dropped from the release calendar for next year.
Oh, is it gone?
They haven't announced yet if it's just been pushed back or dropped entirely, but it was on a release calendar for I think spring of 2023, and they said it's just been pulled from the release calendar with no explanation.
Do you remember which studio that was attached to?
I don't know, because I read that, I don't know, weeks or months ago or something, but they just said whatever it was supposed to be on, it was supposed to come out early 2023, and it had a tentative release date, and they said they just sort of quietly pulled it, but with no explanation. But again, it's another thing of like, it's already been remade once. For many who don't know, actually, I think even you didn't know, Salem's Lot had been remade in, I think, the mid 2000s with Rob Lowe.
The Rob Lowe version, which I didn't even realize that existed.
But then they were working on a new one, and all of a sudden they just were like quietly like, maybe not, but no explanation why.
Well, who knows what horrible thing they had done to? I can't even say that's a beloved franchise. There were those weirdos like me who enjoyed the one that came out
the Hollywood
in the 1970s.
gods.
But I didn't know that other one existed, and
I can loan it to you.
Please don't.
Matt, so here's a couple of shows that I wonder if they would ever even put their pinky toe into thinking about rebooting. Sanford and Son.
Oh my God! It would
All in the
be
family.
It would be like transgender women or something like
that.
Like, why can't we have shows like that, man? Like, those were cool.
Go back,
because the world doesn't think that way anymore.
Just go back and watch Blazing Saddles, and then just that'll cleanse your palate of everything that's going on in the world right now.
Right. It's just like if they're gonna remake like older shows like that are popular, like remake all of them. Quit being picky. Remake all the family.
Well, what's funny too is in entertainment now, everything is we got to tiptoe around and walk on eggshells and not offend anyone or anything. But here's the thing that people actually miss about Blazing Saddles. If all of these like woke weirdos watch Blazing Saddles right now, their heads would probably explode. But what they're completely missing is that it's actually poking fun at and pointing the finger back at like racism and all that stuff, and like, look how ridiculous this is, look how silly this is and everything. But because they're using all the words you're not supposed to use and everything, whatever, like it's like you're totally missing the irony and not figuring, like not seeing why this is funny.
I have no idea about that, Thad. Sorry to respond to the comment.
There's one more step deeper on that, John, and it's the idea that this group, these activists, do not like anybody laughing about this subject either. Even if they do get that it's funny, they're like, we're not supposed to be laughing at that. Shame on you, you know? That's also a legitimate problem. Like,
but again, the whole thing is like the idea is that this black sheriff comes into town and they all hate him because he's black, but he outsmarts all of them because he's smarter than all the townsfolk. But it's that whole idea is lost on them. Like,
yeah, that's because they don't get humor. They're not good at humor. They don't understand satire. They just don't get it.
Yeah, that's what the whole meme wars is all about too.
I'm
that's
just
why
looking for something to delete you
activists can't meme.
No, they can't.
left can't meme.
We got some memes here. Yeah, I already pulled up one of them. I won't repeat it.
Memes properly make the world go round, and the people that can't understand memes just are living in a world that they just don't understand.
I can't communicate with people that don't meme.
That's memes in the context of the internet universe, not in the intellectual idea of all memories that are remembered by a society are actually memes. Like the Uncle Sam wants you to join the army is a meme. Any poster that you can recall that you don't even know, you've never seen it firsthand, but you recognize it on site, like Rosie the Riveter, is a meme.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, totally different, very similar, but not exactly the same thing.
Right. I mean, it's just mainly a formatting issue, but it's the
same
idea.
It's the same idea. It's
formatting issues. Roman knows a lot about those.
Shut the fuck up, John. So to change things up a little bit,
language.
I don't know if any of you are familiar with a service called Cameo.
Oh Lord.
And what this service does is
I forgot about this one.
You pay a celebrity somewhere, whatever dollar figure they ask, and they deliver a personal message to you. And I thought this was one of the most absurd things I'd ever heard of. And Mrs. of the Empire found it, and we started going through these things. And do I need to turn my audio on, John? How do I do that?
Oh, for fluff's sake, Roman. When you
do?
share your screen, you have to click the little box in the left-hand corner that says Share System Audio.
Hang on.
I need to do everything
don't have
an
aneurysm. Don't do it.
Oh no, that didn't. What did that do? I broke it. I broke it.
I have to do everything.
And welcome to my 111th birthday.
That's not it.
I got that one.
Oh, damn it.
God.
I made it go away entirely. Son of a...
Today is my 111th birthday.
It's not funny. It's not funny.
Actually, Roman, I saw one done by Weird Al Yankovic for a friend, a YouTuber's birthday, and it's absolutely fabulous. He mentions the person's name right off the bat and does a whole birthday thing and this whole stage, and there's costume changes and a musical number, and it's only like a minute and a half long, but it's a priceless thing. So this Cameo thing I think has its light and its shade.
I found it. Okay, sorry. I was so happy I found it.
Did you figure it out?
No. So anyway, so we have Brian Cox, who I find hilarious personally. Hopefully we don't get a strike on one of these. It said I was allowed to play this. Am I not allowed to play it? They said I could play these. Why can't I play it? What am I doing wrong? Oh God. Oh fuck. So that's enough on Cameo. What was I don't know. I thought I was able to play these fucking things. I guess I'm not. Oh, is that it? Oh, I found it. I figured it out again. Oh God. I'll put Gary Busey back up. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
You are so fired.
That's it. Clipped. Admitted online.
Hey, this is Gary Busey. Got my guitar, got my voice, got my thoughts, got my love to send to you in a Cameo, however many you want. Just send me what you want me to tell you, and I'll tell you better than you can feel. Bop, bop, bop. There you go. Cameos are us.
God, that's
weird, why
right?
that's why you should always wear a helmet on your motorcycle, kids. So Mando, when you get your motorcycle up and running, wear a helmet.
Absolutely. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
fucking thing to play.
I'll get 2 helmets just to be double sure.
Don't end up like Gary Busey.
So when you hover over it, you'll notice in the bottom of that it has a little X on the speaker looking thing.
Oh, there it is.
Be well.
Hey.
Share.
Oh, I don't want the
No
pep talk.
share.
Fuck the pep talk.
Clearly
I want the
be
roast.
rested and ready.
I would
to
like
You
to
can- you
share
can
my
also-
opinions
you
on
can-
your life for
Oh
a
God,
small
what's happening?
fee.
get back. So what does
Lord.
Lord boy? What if you want me? I will.
Oh my
tell
God,
you,
what's happening right now?
fuck off in a very uncertain manner. Okay.
Nice.
See, that's
wait
funny.
slightly.
So
There's
also the 2 little arrows in the bottom right hand corner where you can make the one bigger.
Good Lord.
Or
Just keeps
I
talking.
don't want to do
Sorry.
that. Okay. I'm just gonna keep drinking.
I don't hold it against any of these guys. If they can make a buck on some people that want to
You know,
make a
you know,
customized Hallmark
It's just
card.
weird because you can find like anybody, well, almost anybody. I tried to find Ryan Gosling, but that little fuck ain't in here.
He's making too much money right now, and he doesn't need to do this yet.
Yeah, and I
But there's,
don't
like,
know if
all
the word
kinds of actors in
little
here.
operates in regard to Gosling. What is he, like 7.5 feet tall or something like that, and like 300 pounds or something? He's a pretty big dude.
It's just you got the guy from Cobra Kai in here.
William Zabka.
It's like it's not a lot of A-list folks, but there are some really bizarre B-list folks in here. Although I wouldn't call Brian Cox B-list. He does television now, and he's ancient and he's Scottish and he can do whatever he wants. But it's like
I've got a weird one.
What'd you find?
Bring it, John. Come on, bring it.
You need to. There you go.
Hold on. It was playing in my ear before I shared my screen.
Now.
It was playing in my ear before I shared my screen. Shut up.
Ryan. So Ryan O'Reilly getting married to a
Is
much
he okay?
younger woman.
Does he need a
Somebody need
hug?
to do a welfare check on
Much
Andy
younger
Dick.
than you.
I think so.
Is that Andy Dick?
It's Andy Dick.
Is he like high? Has he
Oh,
had
He's
whoa.
not okay.
Your
What happened to Andy Dick?
irritable bowels, and you have a bird. I like that part. I gave 2 of my birds died,
He's not doing well.
and then the other one I just gave away.
Yeah, I think that's enough of that. I'm gonna
Oh.
have nightmares for days on that one.
Please don't do that anymore. Oh, that was, but it's just a
It's
weird.
okay. I feel
weird
like someone just needs to check up on him.
Someone needs to follow up on Andy Dick. Check the dick, please.
Yes.
So,
Somebody needs
I'll
some
never say that
hands-on
again.
treatment for Andy's dick. I mean, Andy.
so I just thought this was an interesting thing. Yes, thank you for the ball fan is
Yes.
still in operation. So, and we're gonna start wrapping up. But I wanted to bring up one story of California stupidity before we
do we
get
have
out here.
to?
This, see, Mando, you are safe from this, but unfortunately, Stephen, John, and myself are not. This California proposes ban on natural
I
gas
heard about
by
this.
2030.
Water
you
heaters
lived in-
and gas furnaces.
So
Yeah,
where we live, it's certainly where I live, nearly everything is powered by natural gas.
Right.
Your heater, your water heater, your oven. That is a
Your car.
$26,000 to $31,000 retrofit for the average homeowner.
Well, also, like, I'm gonna throw a different perspective because my dad, what he does is he goes around with his company and does safety inspections and stuff on natural gas pipelines. So he works on pipelines and stuff. Make sure that they're all up to safety code and stuff like that. And so, like, my thought here is how many people are going to be out of a job when this happens?
How many people are going to be out of their homes when this happens? How many people can afford a $31,000 retrofit on their home? We literally, the House of the Empire, just installed the water heater last year. We just replaced our stove last year. We had like 2 major purchases last year. That's about the price of a car for a lot of folks. So restaurants largely run on natural gas, and they're talking about heaters. Nothing in California stays with what they say it's going to be in 2030. That's 8 years down the road. That's not far
feasible.
down the road, especially when
So
you're someone of my advanced age. 2030 is tomorrow.
So you mean when we just had all these heat waves recently, and they were telling everyone to flex your power.
Because it was going to be electric then, right?
Set your AC to 78 degrees. Don't charge your electric vehicle. Don't do laundry in the evenings after work when most people get home. So they want everyone in the entire state to buy an electric vehicle, have an electric water heater, have an electric furnace for their home. But then when we have heat waves and natural disasters of, whatever, they're going to be told that, the grid is overloaded, so we need you all to conserve energy now. So
funny thing, why is the grid overloaded? Come on, play the game with me. It's
because California is stupid.
Well, that is the overall reaching theme. Yes. What did we used to have in California? Come on, say the word. Begins with an N.
A different governor.
Nuclear power plants. Yep.
Funny thing, the cleanest form of energy that we have, but it scared people because it had the N word in it.
Another N
like
word.
You're all
like the big power plant there up in San Onofre between here and Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
So you had the ability to power the state, and then you lost the ability to power the state.
But that particular power plant has now been
and now you want to get rid of one of the other main fuel sources that we have, natural gas. You want us to go down to rubbing sticks together, or will that increase our carbon footprint? Fuck off. So anyway, that's my thoughts on California being stupid.
Well, I had heard a rumor that that this film was about to be canceled. So I don't think we need to worry about this feature-length film called Natural Gas Banned.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, I looked it up recently with the midterms coming up. Gavin Newsom is running largely unopposed. So with pretty much no one actually getting any sort of major steam against him, he's pretty much going to
How's that steam being created? Is it being created by nuclear energy?
It's coming out of his hair gel or something.
Joke. Come
somehow.
on, no one got the steam joke there. I don't even know why I try with you guys.
But yeah, it's not looking good. No one, basically, the only people running against him have like 1%. You know what?
But the Kermit joke was great, Roman.
I'm just gonna put this back up, and you're just gonna stare at that.
Well, I just wonder, like, what's it gonna take? Like, what is gonna be that one straw that finally breaks California?
I don't think there is. Unfortunately, I think the goal is to break California. And I don't know why you want to be the master of the impoverished state. I don't understand that goal.
I think they actually want to break off into the ocean, because anyone that votes anything outside of left, like, I'm not even talking about you have to be conservative, you have to be a Republican, but like, if you don't vote hard liberal, they're just like forcing everybody out, pricing everybody out. Don't even ask me what rent is in my neighborhood right now. Thankfully, my rent didn't go up this lease term, but good Lord, if they had raised it, they probably could have doubled it and not even blinked. They're pushing everybody out so that they can just keep the people in here that keep thinking, oh yeah, they're doing a good job. They're the right people for the job. Guess what? I work in downtown San Diego. Every morning when I drive to work, you can't even see the sidewalks because of the homeless encampments. There's so many fucking tents and homeless and everything. And it's like and I'm not exaggerating. Like, you literally cannot see the sidewalks because there's so many tents and encampments and stuff. It's like, America's finest city, huh? All right.
John, I was in a cafe. I was in a Starbucks earlier today reading Who Goes There. And Yeah, indeed, Roman. Fantastic book so far, man. I'm barely into it, and I can't believe
Right on.
I got the whole book in front of me. But a homeless guy walked right into the Starbucks and reached into the refrigerator and grabbed 4 sandwiches, 2 yogurts, 3 juices, and a couple of
Holy
other
shit.
items. With his arms full, just walked right out of the place. Nobody behind the counter even noticed until some customer mentioned it to him. And I yelled at the guy. He didn't even flinch. And why should he? He's starving to death, and there's nothing to support him. There's no way for him to get out of his mess. People who actually could work tomorrow can barely get out of their mess around here. So it's a mess. I don't know what they're expecting to do. And I have a terrible feeling that the argument we just had, the discussion we just had about media, could be directly applied to state organization as well. Because it's the same thing. It's like, what are you doing? Where's the logic here?
Whole lot of nothing is what they're doing.
So
a whole lot of nothing going on.
I mean, our San Diego mayor is out there, taking out
sweet mother of God.
lanes for...
He's in Norway right now. Norway, looking at the goddamn bike paths. That's
Bike
freaking
lanes.
awesome. Because apparently you can't look at pictures of bike paths or maybe get a film sent to you. That's neither here nor there. So we have bike paths in San Diego. You know what they do? They get in the way. You know who uses them? Nobody. What they do is they block parking in front of small businesses, so small businesses no longer get business. And it narrows the lanes in places like North Park, in Hillcrest, in downtown. Places people
that there's
used
already
to go,
no parking.
But there's no parking in these places. So I don't go to these places. I mean, the Uber drivers are the only one who are making any money out of this because people aren't driving there, but not everybody can afford to take Uber.
But then they screwed up the gig economy by trying to make them employees rather than independent contractors like they should be.
Literally everything to destroy small business is what California is doing. They're trying to drive out homeowners with this gas thing because that's going to wreck most people. Most people can't do that. Hey, by the way, it's going to be $31,000. I mean, just getting your water heater replaced normally is expensive. If you have to retrofit your system to adapt it to an entirely different power source, cool. That's awesome. But whatever. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's the best it's ever been. Ask anybody in the administration.
Nice.
I'm sorry.
And we're back. We're getting really lit up here tonight.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Well, I mean, and it just it's unfortunate if you don't live in one of these states. I mean, you do see it at the national level. I mean, none of that escapes you, but California is the place that you see these kind of wackadoo things first. So if you don't think it's coming to you, you're wrong. California's and New York, that's our East Coast cousin. These bad ideas infect the federal government, and then they bleed down to you in your states where you think
just
you're
a couple of earmarks on that. The first picture driver's license was issued in California. The first license plates on cars, the first registrations on cars, all California. So when it starts here, it trickles right across the country because they test bed it in this part of the country. So same thing goes for New York. I would like to offer some sort of hope that science has a clever idea coming. And I've been reading about a dozen clever ideas, but it seems like the funding's being pulled on all of these clever ideas.
Well,
there's several different new power systems that are not being explored and so on.
You can't crush the population that way, buddy. Come on.
The politicians are only going to put it into place if someone's going to pad their pockets to do it.
Yeah, and God knows how many things they're going to hang on it too. Like you're going to have to reassess your home's value. And if you get this new electrical system, you're going to need 20% electrical support on your house in the form of solar plating and stuff like that. They'll just keep tagging things onto it until it's just like, you know what? Let's move.
Yeah, they'll just keep hacking away at it. I mean, there are very few people. Gentleman from Kentucky, Massey, Thomas Massey. Am I getting the name right?
Are you having a stroke right now?
One of the senators.
Sounds familiar.
But he's forgive me, I'm getting the name wrong, but that's fine. He's one of the senators from Kentucky. Senator, representative, doesn't matter. But he's got a brain that's this freaking big. So and he has the money to do it. So he took an old Tesla battery and he made his house off the grid. He can charge the battery, which charges the house. Start eating bugs. I think I would like the praying mantis the best because they've got that funny looking head, and I think I'd like to see that as I'm getting ready to shove it into my freaking mouth.
You know, I had a friend who was overseas once and had a deep fried grasshopper. Said it was pretty good.
Every time I think of a praying mantis being eaten,
a novelty. I've never intentionally consumed a bug. I don't intend to start intentionally consuming bugs, but you also need to watch out because they have and will start putting bugs in your processed food products. And it's not going to be like big chunks of bugs. They grind them down into a flour-like substance. And you don't have to ask me. It's not Crazy Roman in his tinfoil hat.
Well, this is a little crazy, though.
What? What I say?
I think we're losing Mando.
I didn't. No, I don't do bugs. I just today at my job, like I work with clothes and people donate clothes, and I was like taking clothes out of a box, and there was a freaking black widow, and I about lost my freaking mind. And then one of my coworkers was like, "Oh, I'll kill it." Poof. I was just like, I'm like, I don't do bugs.
I'm with Daniel on this. I think ultimately this is where it ends up. I've been eyeing my neighbors. I've got a couple in mind and a couple that I don't think are probably good. So, you know, it just kind of is what it is. So I had a cricket, I had a lizard who used to eat crickets. And the lizard seemed quite satisfied, but the lizard also had never had Mexican food. So
that is racist, sir.
Why? Why is that racist? I don't understand.
Because you're a white man. You're not supposed to talk about another culture's food.
Why are we talking about bugs?
Mando is about to cut out.
This is
like crawling.
Talking about California's stupidity, and we've gone down the scale to now we're eating bugs and possibly our neighbors.
And make sure to like and subscribe, everybody.
Why don't I have any followers?
Support the old man in his.
It almost answers itself, doesn't it, kids?
You know, he has dementia. He doesn't really remember the things that he says and does.
Well, there's a company out there that's doing vegan processed meats. And they're called Impossible Meat Company. I swear, it's like right out of a cartoon.
I have that sound alert on my button. You're welcome. I just now remembered as we were talking about the bugs. I'm like, this is perfect.
Oh my Lord.
That's fantastic.
You get all this and more. I tell you that every week, folks, and yet, and here we are.
Pop culture and chaotic.
And just imagine if he gets to where he can have like monetized members. Imagine the behind the scenes members content you would get.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Roman fans.
What
only.
button does this do? Oh God, no.
Roman fans.
Only Romans.
That's right. They'll march up and unfurl their banners. You know. The Roman fans.
Hey, what happened to your?
What?
Oh, you got rid of your Kermit video.
No, I didn't.
Oh, where'd it go?
Did I?
Oh man, it's gone.
It's right here,
man.
Hi ho, and welcome to Zombie Kermit Solves the World's Problems.
What the fuck?
Oh, I couldn't find it for some reason.
Priceless.
So on that
Muppet
note,
opening,
I think we will wrap it up for the evening. I think we've caused probably enough damage. I'm going to see what my sub count is after the show. So
it has just gone down below 100.
And somehow I'm actually in negative subs, which is pretty exciting. So I did want to thank Mando for being our guest this week. We always love you coming on. What do you got going on this coming week and in the future, Mando?
So tomorrow I am actually going to be a guest on Jacob Ironside's channel.
Nice. Love Jacob.
Yes, he is a cool dude. Saturday, I am going to do everything I can to have literary souls again. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about because I don't really want to talk about Rings of Power because I'm kind of done with Rings of Power. So we might just catch up on life and just chit chat.
Have you considered talking about an insect diet?
You know, as much as I've thought about different various diets, that is not one that I am interested in at the moment.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And Mando, I guess I will see you over there. I too am going to be talking about Big Country and the other cowboy movie that they're planning on over at Jacob Ironside. So woohoo!
Yes,
you'll be yeehawing in the aisles, I'm sure.
I'll make sure to wear my cowboy hat tomorrow.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I'd like to limit
I do have one. I grew up in the South. I have a cowboy hat.
I mean, you have to. It's required.
Yeah. They don't renew your license without one.
Seems legit. We're in California. I'll buy pretty much anything at this point. Sure, you have to eat a cricket if you want to get a renewal. Fine, I'll eat the fucking cricket. So, Steven, what else do you got going on this week, buddy?
You know, I've been bouncing all around the place. I've been really getting pretty random with hopping onto various streams, but I have another invite for an anime discussion about the Ghibli collection, the Studio Ghibli collection out of Japan, and that's on Raquel's channel. I will have to find her name so I pronounce it entirely correctly, and it's somewhere around here. There it is. Raquel SSG. She's going to be doing a show on Monday, and I haven't heard an exact time, but I'm fairly sure it's midday or a late evening. She said it wouldn't conflict with John's show at 5, so there'll be that as well.
Right on.
I'll be posting to Twitter, of course, as usual.
As always. And John, what else? What other weird stuff do you have in the works?
Oh, you never know with me. We got Monday, obviously. Mixtape Mondays. I have no idea what we're talking about this week. And then just whatever little short videos I come up with to complain about the world in between live streams.
And I almost forgot. Are you joining PJ maybe for Let's Talk Geeky this Saturday?
I will have to see. If I am going to Oktoberfest, the answer is no. If I am not going to Oktoberfest, the answer is yes.
Okay.
I just
well,
have
either way, that's going to be noon Pacific and 8 p.m. UK GMT for PJ Maybe's Let's Talk Geeky, which is always a good route.
It is. That's always a fun show. You got Jim the Viking, Grandology, Mr. AWK, Archer Colin, and then the couple of wackadoo Americans on there. Although Wendy is technically American, but she's been over there so long, I consider her a UK
American on there.
I lost myself there. Oh God, I'm back. So this Monday,
Words
obviously,
are hard.
John. Friday, I might be on with Otter Miller. Saturday, I might be on with PJ maybe.
There's lots of maybes there.
There's lots of maybes. Next Thursday, my goal is to do the Thing show. The Thing being a look at the novella Who Goes There, the 1951 film The Thing from Another Planet, and the 1982 film The Thing from John Carpenter.
You don't want to talk about the 2011 one?
There isn't a 2011 one. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we don't. But if we want to talk about the bad thing, then we'll talk about that very briefly. Because they did have some interesting ideas. And I mentioned before, the execution was really not good.
Really
so that's the goal
CGI.
for next week, to put that show out. So if anybody's still viewing, and I haven't driven you off yet with my rants,
I think you've lost
that
everybody.
has an interest in this show, hit me up, and we'll see if we can work something out as far as having a guest spot.
Yeah, looks like Blair to Blair might be up for it.
Oh, good. All right, yeah, Blair. Blair has 1, great beard. 2, always a fantastic guest.
There's a lot of beard envy there.
Thank you to
very wizardly.
He just disappears. He comes back. It's amazing. Thank you to Mando.
But he always arrives when he means to.
To Stephen and to John, who won't stop talking. And thank you to all the chat who showed up tonight. And for those of you who get this on the review, this has been Solving the World Problems, which is still mostly a lie. We are signing off. Be kind.